Security, totaling 14.16 billion naira. This follows the approval granted by Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly to the State Executive after receiving a request from Governor Udom Emmanuel seeking the lawmakers' approval for the state to access the federal government's conditional budget facility guaranteed to states. These and more dominated Thursday's plenary, according to Assembly correspondent Udo Aikong. Her report is here presented.
The latter conveying the executive request for approval to access the loan from the federal government was read by the clerk of the House, Mrs. Mandu Umoren.
This offer by the federal government is part of measures to cushion the effects of the present economic challenges faced by the state in meeting their obligations to staff, pensioners, and other stakeholders. Akwa Ibom State has been formally offered support in the sum of 14.16 billion naira. This to be available in 3 branches.
Opening the debate on the governor's message, the majority leader, Sir Udoki Rianakpan, called for a speedy attention to be given to the message, explaining that the budget support facility offers a subsidized interest of 9%. Other lawmakers, in their contributions, agreed that the budget support facility would help cushion the effects of dwindling resources in the state and expressed the hope that the funds will be judiciously applied in the implementation of projects captured in the 2016 budget.
This is a program that the federal government is the key participant, and the Akwa Ibom State is only one of those states that is going to participate. And the House of Assembly resolution is a commission precedent upon which the federal government allows the states to be part of this.
It is my opinion that Akwa Ibom should also take part in this facility because tomorrow we don't really know what will happen. Maybe as the economy is fighting very hard, maybe tomorrow we are going to experience a boom, and the federal government may decide to write up either the interest of any place. Akwa Ibom will be left out if we refuse to take part in this facility. And that is why I like to support the federal government budget support facility to state, then Akwa Ibom State in particular.
The Speaker, Barrister Onofiok Luke, commended the lawmakers for their swift response and commended President Buhari and other relevant finance stakeholders for providing the budget support facility to assist states meet their obligations to the people.
Subject to the approval of the State Executive Council, hereby referred to ATESCO, the state being and hereby authorized to receive proceeds of the loan issuance from the subscriber in monthly tranches or in such other manner on such terms and conditions, including but not limited to tenor, amount, and price, as they be set out in the relevant documents entered into by the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, in this case the Commission, or such other person or persons to whom the Commissioner may delegate this power. Is it the wish of this House that this forms part of the resolution? Yes.
Meanwhile, the House of Assembly had summoned the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Mr. Victor Antai, to appear before the Joint House Committees on Rules, Business, Ethics and Privileges, and the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Public Petition. The Commissioner is to present detailed financial status of the 31 local government areas. The invitation of the Commissioner, Mr. Antai, follows a matter of urgent public importance raised on the floor of the House by the Chairman, Committee on Appropriations and Finance, Mr. Usoro Akpanuzo. While directing the Joint House Committee to report to the House next week, the Speaker, Barrister Onofiok Luke, explains that the State Assembly was trying to assist the Local Government Council in the absence of local government legislature as the third tier of government.
A one-day stakeholders consultative town hall meeting on security of the state has ended in Uyo. The meeting, organized by the Akwa Ibom State Police Command and held at the Police Officers' Mess, had as its theme security threats in the state. The meeting was chaired by the Akwa Ibom State Commissioner of Police, Murtala Usman Mani, with the Speaker of the State House of Assembly, the Secretary to the State Government, and the Commissioner for Transport in attendance. The report of the meeting is here presented. Who attended the meeting were the Commandant of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, the Commandant of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, the Controller of Immigration, and the Controller of Customs in the state. Also in attendance were the representatives of the Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, the Muslim community, the Igbo, Yoruba, and Ijaw communities, market women, vigilante group, the youth, and student association leaders. Also present were police divisional commanders, divisional police officers, and unit heads in the state police command. The meeting served as a platform for the participants who play crucial roles in ensuring adequate security within the state to brainstorm. Speakers agree that the meeting was timely given the near volatile security environment, which calls for a uniform security that would guarantee and sustain the current peaceful atmosphere enjoyed in the state. In his opening remarks, the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Murtala Mani, said that the stakeholders meeting was called to enable the people to interact, discuss, identify, and propose solutions, ensure peace, which, according to him, is the greatest happiness for the greatest number of people. Mr. Mani, who said that security is everybody's business, spoke on the need for all to play their roles to the best of their ability to ensure adequate security that will guarantee the growth of business and expansion of the frontiers of leisure. He said that so far, the command has enjoyed reasonable and robust partnership from the government and the people of the state, including the traditional and religious leaders, the students' unions and youth groups, trade unions and road transport workers, tricycle and motorcycle unions, and called for more of such cordial understanding by giving the police timely and credible information to assist in actionable intelligence.
For this man is not a witch doctor or Muslim. Even if he is, he will still rely on his client to furnish him with facts of their challenges before he can commence the process of gazing into his numerous filtered box. I therefore solicit your abiding partnership in this regard.
The Speaker of the State House of Assembly, represented by the member on our state constituency, Otuekong Seisien, said that the one-day stakeholders poly was necessary in order to maintain the already existing peaceful environment of the state. He corroborated with the states of the police commissioner that security is the concern of all and urged the people to cooperate with the police to ensure a peaceful and safe state for all.
Let me thank the security operatives, not just the police in our private states, for the relative peace that we've enjoyed in this side of the planet. If you check the indices of crimes, not only in Nigeria, but particularly in Nigeria Delta, you appreciate what we have here in our private.
The Secretary to the State Government, represented by the Permanent Secretary in his office, Mr. Udwak George Omo, identified with the police and commended the command for organizing the meeting. The Secretary to the State Government promised that government will continue to support the police to enable it succeed in its responsibility of maintaining law and order in the states.
This town hall meeting is very, very important, and we believe that this will afford us the opportunity for all will afford the stakeholders the opportunity to sit down and discuss these security challenges. The government of Akwa Ibom State will continue to partner with the police to make sure that these security challenges are reduced to the barest minimum.
The wife of the state governor, Mrs. Martha Odom Emmanuel, has commended the management and staff of JG Environmental Conservation Services for living up to the task of creating awareness about environment-related challenges such as species extinction, erosion, and climate change. Mrs. Udom Emmanuel made the commendation when she received a delegation of a group led by its director, Mrs. Ememomo, in Government House. According to her, the need to protect the environment is the collective responsibility of all. Thus, all hands must be on deck to protect the environment. Mrs. Udom Emmanuel pointed out that human influence on the climate system is clear and growing, with impact observed everywhere, and noted that if left unchecked, climate change will increase the likelihood of severe, pervasive and irreversible impact on the people and the ecosystem. She called on all to work towards preserving the environment and advocated for the people to engage in tree planting so as to save the planet from degradation, adding that the state is currently facing serious climate-related issues which require urgent attention. She commended the group for championing various options available to adapt to the climate change and observed that if stringent measures are implemented, it will help mitigate the erroneous challenges of climate change and create a bright and more sustainable future for all.
For environment, and I will mention to His Excellency also, there is no how we have this kind of a thing in this state. It will attract people, tourists. It will become a tourist center, and the community through that will be development. We are crying for development. We have all it takes to develop this place, but how to access this thing, how to make all these things come to make it easy for you to realize on them. The welcome idea, and they say, be a plus to the people of Akwa Ibom State and to this government particularly, to be a plus. We appreciate all of you. Thanks for coming, and God bless you. I owe you for the last I'm going to redeem it today, don't worry.
The Director of Jeju Environmental Conservation Services, Mrs. Ememomo, said the group has been at the forefront for the protection and sustainable use of natural resources for posterity in Akwa Ibom State. She said the conservation of biodiversity results in ecological stability, and the provision of ecosystem services will enhance a healthier and green Akwa Ibom. Mrs. Omo informed the governor's wife that her group works hand in hand with the State Ministry of Environment and highlighted the achievements of the group to include the establishment of participatory biodiversity conservation projects in Ikorobasi local government area.
Training into Women's Center, 11 a.m. is the time. What is the benefit of all these stories and all the things we're doing? Number one is ecological stability, which I talked about. Conservation of biodiversity results in ecological stability and the provision of ecosystem services that will enhance a healthier and a greener Akwa Ibom State.
Similarly, the governor's wife also played host to Family Empowerment and Youth Reorientation Program Ambassadors International, where she commended them for identifying with her passion to touch lives across every strata area, noting that it was thrilling to see the impact made by the group. She reiterated her commitment to touching and impacting lives through her social intervention platform, advising the group to liaise with the coordinator of FEREP to identify their area of coverage.
I told her, where do you get this money? Because I don't give her money. So I don't know how you will do it. And however you have made this to happen, gone into those streets, touching the lives of those people in the rural areas, just be assured that it won't be in vain. I really appreciate this. And I want to assure you, there's no way this kind of program can go on that I won't support. I told her yesterday, whatever it takes for me to encourage you to do more, I will do that.
In her remarks, the International President of FEREP Ambassadors, Deaconess Helen Ekong, appreciated the governor's wife for the seed of love she has sown in the state, observing that it has really spurred the group to embark on impactful programs. She outlined some of the places visited by the group with gift items to include Health Care Center Okobo, God's Liberty Home Oron, St. Luke's Hospital Anua, and Fidel Commercial Secondary School in Uburukara local government area, promising that more places will be visited in the second phase of its awareness campaign.
Within your only 1 year in office, did we mention the free eyeglasses to over 2,000 people, over 1,500 surgeries, of which I was present to see?
You're watching AKBC 45 News. For the benefit of those just joining us, we said earlier that the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly has given approval to the State Executive Council's request for the state government to participate in the federal government conditional budget support facility totaling 14.16 billion naira. We also said that a one-day stakeholders consultative town hall meeting on security of the state has ended. We will take a break. We have more news for you after this. Just stay with us. Welcome back. The first educational week of the School of Education at Akwa Ibom State College of Education, Afaransat, was a platform for students from different faculties and some invited schools to showcase their creativity and what they can do in their field of studies. And yet, Yakbaitam reports that some of the items exhibited were technical works from the School of Technical Education, fabrics and appearances from the School of Home Economic, among others.
The vision of the items was part of the move to take the 21st century education to another level practically. The provost of the school, Dr. Patrick Uko, led personalities in the state and a cross-section of the school management team to inspect the items displayed. Speaking after the inspection of the exhibition stands, the provost, Dr. Patrick Uko, said the school does not just train students in theoretical research, but to apply what has been taught into a practical terms. He said that students who graduate from the institution are not dependent for work in the labor market, but can practically apply the knowledge they acquired from the school, and charge the student to be serious in all their academic endeavors.
The philosophy behind the event has been that the college must do something to attract other people. The college should service the immediate community. The event of today captured the essence of all these things I've said. Because we have a mandate in this college to go into research, to partner, network, research into issues pertaining to education.
The event also featured cultural dances from the school cultural group and some invited schools.
It was all about exchange of pleasantries in the television newsroom of the Akwa Ibom Broadcasting Corporation as colleagues gathered to bid goodbye to a retired news editor, Mr. Felix Okam. The event, which climaxed in presentation of a souvenir gift item to Mr. Felix Okam, witnessed goodwill messages from the Director of News and Current Affairs Directorate, Comfort Umana, and various staff of the television news department.
And not only giving the right things, with sound mind, so that's the benefit of this program. And we wish you well all of the present. Now, I don't know the thing about basically in us. We know about the sense of duty, either as individual or as a group. To do that,
you should come home to thank your colleagues for the support you've gotten over the years. And I pray that when you eventually round up your tenure as vice chairman, that God will help you to land well. And Dr. Felix, thank you for coming back to the ministry. We need seeing you around with us, and I'm happy that we are telling you to your face that you are loved and appreciated, and not coming to make some selfless feelings when you are no longer in this world. May your retirement.
Now, we have the support of members of the board, and I thank Felix for making time to be here with us despite the short notice. And we believe that this kind of spirit will continue at any point in time, over time. Come around the past of what's happening here. And of course, let me say big thank you to the Vice Chairman of the State Council and others of the government, that anybody who comes up with this effort to be representing us at anywhere will all find it fit. At least, hearing, tell us this is what's happening. We have the capacity as individuals to also contribute to sitting down somewhere and laughing. Not necessarily like this, but we believe that it's a wonderful occasion. It sparks a lot of things in our minds. And for the next person who will be throwing that line.
Thank you, Buffet, by a member of the newsroom and Vice Chairman, State Council of Nigeria Union of Journalists, Florence Moituk, where Mrs. Moituk commended her colleagues for their support to her throughout her stay in the State Executive Council, which culminated in the transformation of the Nigerian Union of Journalists Secretariat.
I thank you for being my backbone and for giving me the seat to bite when necessary, because knowing that you are there gives me the confidence that I have people behind me and I'm not standing alone.
In his response to the goodwill message, Mr. Felix Okum, a former head of reportorial and news editor, expressed gratitude to the family's consciousness that exists in the newsroom, noting that he will always offer his services anytime he is called upon.
Happiness is the fact that I am appreciated while I'm alive. It gives me joy. You will always be. I still have your phone number. Some of your phone numbers, I have them all mine. So I'm very, very happy to be a member of this chapel. Thank you very much for that.
The event featured a buffet that was sponsored by the Vice Chairman of the NUJ in the state, Florence Moituk. The United Kingdom has taken a work from the European Union after Thursday's referendum. Samuel Ayara has details on our foreign news segment.
4 months after intensified campaigns on whether UK should exit the European Union, results of the ballot at the referendum favors the British exit. Those who voted stay were defeated by those in support of the exit, having polled 52% of the total votes cast, despite Scotland and Netherlands' support for staying in. As a result of the exit, the British Prime Minister David Cameron has resigned his position, citing the need for fresh leadership. Cameron will be leaving as Prime Minister in October. Meanwhile, some of the European leaders, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel and French President François Hollande, has expressed their reservations on Britain's exit decision, calling it a bad nightmare. This decision is putting pressure on some leaders who may be made to resign their positions in the succeeding days, even as European leaders are considering ways of forging on stronger and better.
And now to end the news, another look at the top stories. Akwa Ibom State is to participate in federal government budget support facility totaling 14.16 billion naira. This follows approval given to the state government to access the facility by the State House of Assembly. We also brought you a report that Akwa Ibom State Police Command has held a stakeholders meeting to brainstorm on security matters. Just a quick reminder that you can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging onto akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45VU or on Facebook at AKBC Channel 5. To remember, today is the last Saturday of the month and environmental sanitation is going on. Do go out and keep your environment tidy to stay healthy and strong. And also remember to join us at 12 for yet another package. Until then, on behalf of the production crew, have a wonderful day.